Our extensive understanding of the cosmos did not appear suddenly. The horrifying new experience Voyager 1 had with an unidentified force may open our eyes to a completely new perspective on space. Without the voyage of probes, our knowledge of space and some of our greatest achievements would be lacking. However, after years of circling around in space, one of the probes appears to be having problems. Come along with us as we explore the mysteries of outer space. An account of the two explorers, two of the most significant space probes ever launched, are cruising through space. Here's a peek at their intriguing tale. Thanks to the twin Voyagers 1 and 2, a great deal of what we know about space and its many secrets has been revealed. During the past 45 years, they have been collecting new data. When these missions were launched into orbit, there was no internet, no phones, and no contemporary technology. How absurd is that? Since Voyager 1's launch by NASA in 1977, the spacecraft has spent decades exploring space and providing us with a number of rare opportunities to view the solar system. Interesting fact: the mission's duration exceeded expectations set by the scientists. Things were very different in space even after years of investigation on Earth. As spacecraft were able to drive themselves at the speed of other planets and fulfill the necessary milestones much faster, things might happen considerably faster. This made it possible for the choice to change the 30-year plan to an arbitrary 30-year journey. Voyager 1 was able to take the lead even though the two spacecraft, having somewhat different paths, left ground control 2 weeks apart. In a mere 12 years, less than half of the estimated time, Voyager 1 reached its destination. That's correct. 12 years is seen as short in space travel. Additionally, Voyager 1 was the first spacecraft to reach the solar system's edge. Then there was a greater probability of something going wrong, and it was a far riskier route for Voyager 1. Becoming lost in outer space was a very real possibility. These two probes have contributed greatly to our understanding of space travel. Scientists and NASA engineers are still in astonishment over data and photos taken by the twin Voyagers. The two showed us the renowned red spot on this massive planet and took the very first pictures of Jupiter. These missions have yielded other startling discoveries concerning many stars and planets, such as the presence of water on Europa, the identification of the largest natural satellite in the solar system, and the discovery of active volcanoes on Io. We were able to uncover things that we never knew existed or were even feasible, as well as get additional knowledge about locations throughout our solar system. Well, isn't it intriguing? Voyager 1 touched down on Saturn, its original intended destination, almost 13 years after taking off. With greater information about the planet's wind speeds and its short 10-hour days, scientists were able to comprehend it better. 10 hours seems like so little in a day. 24 seems like so much. We gained a great deal of knowledge on the nitrogenous habitats on Titan, the moon of the far-off planet. It also found 10 other moons on this distant planet. The two spacecraft parted ways to continue their own missions after obtaining data at Saturn. While Voyager 2 continued on its course toward the final 2 planets in our solar system, Voyager 1 made a detour and traveled for the heliosphere. These 2 Voyagers raised several new questions as well as being able to contribute to the answers to many others about the vastness of space. For example, Voyager 2 collected hitherto unseen data on Neptune, a planet traditionally thought to be inferior by scientists. How a planet so far from the Sun, getting so little solar energy, could sustain such varied weather patterns and climates astounded and perplexed them. By 2004, both probes were extremely far from home and had arrived at what might be termed the far limits of our solar system. They had arrived at the termination shock, a location in our solar system where the winds dropped from millions of mph to a mere 250 miles per hour, a pace that was nothing in comparison to the blinding intergalactic speeds. Nothing in space, and the solar system is little. Even though Voyager 1 had reached its limit, it still needed to pass through the heliosphere in order to enter interstellar space. interstellar space, and the heliopause. Let us now explain what the heliosphere is in case you were wondering. It is, in essence, a shield that protects our solar system and planet from the intense radiation and energy of interstellar space. Nothing has been able to travel as far into space as Voyager 1, which has covered an incredible 12 billion miles since it was launched 45 years ago. Despite the fact that technology has advanced light years since then, the fact that this was accomplished with relatively little technology is even more amazing. Neither of the probes had a microprocessor on board. Those were non-existent even 10 years ago. The fact that there is very, very little, if any, software really contributed to the prolonged survival of the situation. Scientists and engineers surmised that the necessity of hardwiring everything was the reason for its extended functionality. The probes could operate for such a long time because the onboard processors were, at best, extremely low-power devices. An 8-track tape recorder held all of the data that the instrument aboard the probe collected and recorded. It was returned to Earth using a device that consumed the same amount of energy as a refrigerator light bulb. Well, isn't that just crazy? The amount we accomplished with such archaic technology is astounding. A horrifying first meeting. However, there is an issue. Voyager 1 appears to be having issues after 45 years in operation. Has communication with aliens finally been established? Is space travel far riskier than we thought it would be, or is there a far easier solution? How is our dependable space shuttle Voyager 1, located approximately 14.5 billion miles from Earth, faring after decades in space? It's amazing that Voyager 1 is still functional. Nonetheless, a spaceship eventually experiences damage from spending 45 years by itself in the vastness of space, and this is starting to happen. Even while Voyager 1 appears to be fully operational, scientists have discovered that they are unsure of its precise location. We don't know where it is. Even though it didn't enter safe mode or raise any red flags, scientists and specialists at NASA are perplexed but not really shocked. This kind of breakdown in a probe this old is hardly a major story. What transpired with Voyager 1 and what it encountered during its voyage into uncharted interstellar space remains to be seen. Is there a malevolent power at work, or is the spacecraft just becoming old? The termination of a period. Everything worthwhile has to end. Even with the mission's success, difficult choices must be taken to allow for future growth. The Voyagers appear to have crossed the finish line. We could be coming to an end. After 45 long years in deep space, the most recent bug and malfunction in Voyager 1's onboard computers and ACS will force it to retire. The American Space Agency has started shutting down its systems and bidding the probe good night. It's amazing that humanity was able to send probes into space that lasted for such a long time, even before the development of current technologies. After 2 identical probes gave humans the closest views yet of the 2 largest planets in our solar system, the mission has come to an end.